Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. My name is AJ. I'm here to talk about a couple of important issues I need to raise off my chest. What I'm going to say is quite important and it needs to be told. So, I made a video a couple of days ago about this young woman who got pushed to her death by a homeless guy. And a few of my comments said that this was not a hate crime. This was a black guy, gone crazy, mental health issues, etc. So I want to kind of respond to that. Really, that is not the point. The point is there are Asian people, there are Chinese people who are being attacked on a daily basis all over the world. People are being killed, whether you're Chinese, whether you're Asian, it does not matter. There are people out there who are targeting Asian people thinking they are Chinese. So that's my point here. So the point I was trying to make the other day was a lot of newspaper articles were saying Asian woman, Michelle Go, got killed, Asian woman. So all of these Western papers, all of them, United States papers, all of the British papers, anything from the West, all I could see is Asian woman got killed, Asian woman got killed. They refuse to talk about her Chinese ethnicity because they know this is a anti-Chinese crime. So that's my point here. So the point is all of these papers trying to hide her identity like it's an Asian hate crime. This is not Asian hate. This is a Chinese hate crime. Because whenever you see people out there killing kids, killing, grown adults, even beating up grown adults, putting them into comas or trying to kill them, it's happening every single day all over the world. And there's only one reason they're doing this. It's because they hate Chinese. And unfortunately, a lot of Asians that look like Chinese, they are targets as well. But whenever these psychos are going out in the streets, whenever they see an Asian person, they think that they are Chinese. So they're attacking them thinking they are Chinese. So that's why this is an anti-Chinese hate crime. It's not an anti-Asian hate crime. Same thing happened September 11th. You see, all sorts of Muslims were being attacked. But then you had people attacking Hindus as well. You had people attacking Sikhs. And all of these Sikhs were demonstrating all over the world saying, we are not Muslims, stop attacking us. It's the same thing. People are attacking, Chinese because they think they are Chinese. Even people that look Asian or they look Chinese, to them, they feel that, they're doing a service by attacking them. So whenever these people are shooting, Asians or attacking Asians, my point is they are thinking they are killing Chinese or beating up Chinese. Then you have all of these Western papers hiding the fact that she's Chinese, hiding the fact she's a Chinese ethnicity, and then just basically saying it's an Asian hate crime or, an Asian woman got killed. Or sometimes they don't even mention she's Asian. Sometimes they say 40-year-old woman got killed. They don't mention anything about her Chinese ethnicity. They're trying to hide it because they don't want to, show that they were wrong. Because every single day you see all of these anti-Chinese articles, anti-Chinese, anti-communist articles. They hate the Chinese so much, the politicians, the media. And now the people are starting to attack the Chinese and the media's like, oh no, it's nothing to do with us. We had nothing to do with it. When they know they got blood on their hands, they know they got blood on their hands. So that's my point. That's my point, guys. Chinese are being killed. Chinese are being attacked because of their ethnicity, and people who are attacking them are thinking that they are attacking the Chinese, while in fact they are attacking other races and stuff. But they don't care, as long as they feel that they're attacking the Chinese, and to them they all look the same anyway. So when you got something like the Black Lives Matter, you have people, of all races saying, hang on a second, why is it Black Lives Matter? Why is it not all lives matter? Because why do Black lives only matter? Why don't, Asian lives matter? Why don't Muslim lives matter? Why don't Chinese lives matter? So people try to kind of add other races into this Black Lives Matter movement, but they did not have any of it. They did not have any of it, not even one bit. Nobody that organizes Black Lives Movement, wanted to make it about anybody else. They said, no, this is about black people. This is not about a Chinese person. This is not about a Muslim person. This is not about a white person. This is not about a brown person. This is about black people. And we're going to keep it as BLM, Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter is what's important to us. And you see millions of people all over the world demonstrating for Black Lives Matter, people wearing t-shirts, mugs, people having Black Lives Matter posters on their walls. And, it was a major, major movement. So why don't I see anything like this happening for the Chinese? Why? I'll tell you why. Because I feel that not many Chinese have a voice. It shouldn't be Asian hate crime or anti-Asian hate crime. This is purely anti-Chinese hate crime. This is anti-Chinese hate crime going on all over the world. And there should be demonstrators and protesters all over the world mentioning this. This is not Asian hate crime at all. This is all about anti-Chinese. And it's become like this because there's so many anti-Chinese articles out there, so many people hitting on China, how many people hitting on communism, Communist Party, CPC, CCP, calling it all sorts of names. And, it all started from Trump when he starts calling it Kung Flu and started calling it Wuhan virus everywhere. Then you got all these Indians start saying it, and you got black people saying it as well. And it's just not fair, guys. This is not anti-Asian, because Asian, do you know how many Asian countries there are? There's loads, and especially if you're living in Britain. I'm living in UK, and Asian counts for Indian as well, and Pakistani and Bangladesh. But obviously in America, Asian is Asian countries like China, Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Laos, Myanmar. All of these, Malaysia, Singapore, all of these countries are Asian countries. But this is not about Asian violence. This is anti-Chinese violence. People are going out in the streets looking for Chinese people because they hate Chinese people. That's how it is. So there needs to be a lot more protests, a lot more demonstrations happening about anti-Chinese, not about anti-Asian. Don't try and dilute this. BLM, Black Lives Matter, didn't dilute it. They said, no, we're going to stick to Black Lives Matter. I don't care what people say about all lives matter. This is about black people. This is our movement. So there needs to be a similar thing for Chinese people. There's 1.4 billion Chinese people living in China. But you get my point, guys. There needs to be more voices for Chinese people out there. I don't see enough people with voices. I don't see many people on YouTube. I don't see many people on TV. I mean, I watch CGTN, and I like Victor Gao, and I like, Iga Tainen, I think his name is. I can't remember his full name now. And you have people, there's a few people there with voices. But then you see CGTN titles such as, is this a change of Chinese-US relations? Or, what's the future of Chinese-US relations? How are the US-China relations 1 year on after sanctions? It's just nicey titles all the time. All I see is just nicey titles. I mean, it's okay to be angry. I like the written stuff written in Global Times, but don't like the video stuff, not so much. I think the editor, he needs to stay away from making those videos. I think he needs to hire a Western journalist or even a Chinese journalist who speaks English very well to come across more articulately what they write. So I think Global Times is heading in the right direction, but the other Chinese channels, I just find them too nice, guys. And this is from a Westerner talking. It's okay to be angry. When the Black Lives Matter happened, you see a lot of angry black people out there, a lot of people with a voice. And black people do have a voice, so they do have very, very good speakers. And they, a lot of people do have a voice, and they made all of this Black Lives Matter happen, and, demonstrations and protests all over the world. And it has made some changes. You can't deny that. It has made some changes. The police have stopped, killing black people. Police think twice before they arrest a black person, for example. It has made changes. And the same way, there needs to be a lot more people with voices speaking about anti-Chinese stuff. I try and do my best but there needs to be a lot more people. But you got to understand the basics. The basic is people in the West, especially media, politicians, are spreading these anti-Chinese hate crimes out there. Then the media are doing a good job by hiding the fact that Chinese people are being killed. You know, when Chinese people are being killed and beaten up, it's not shown anywhere in these Western papers. And when it's serious enough and they do show it, they call it anti-Asian hate crime, or they say Asian woman got killed, or an Asian man got killed, or Asian man got put in a coma, Asian boy got killed. They don't mention that they are Chinese. You know, they try and hide the fact, and because they know they got blood in their hands. So the whole point of this, guys, don't let them dilute the fact that this is an anti-Chinese hate crime going on out there. You know, were there this many Chinese or Asian people being hurt or beaten up or killed, say, 10 years ago, before Trump came in power? No, there wasn't. You know, before that, the Muslims were getting it. You know, I remember after September 11th, you know, the amount of Muslim hate crime there were. People were being killed, shot down, beaten up, all because they were Muslims. Now all of that hate has gone into Chinese. You know, don't let them fool you. You know, and don't let them dilute it by saying this is an Asian hate crime. This is purely a Chinese hate crime, guys. They attack all of these Asians thinking they are Chinese. So don't let them dilute it. Don't let them fool you. And still to this day, I said I will give you £50 to the first person who finds an article, a Western article, who says a Chinese woman got killed in the New York subway. You will find that every single Western article will say it's either Asian woman got killed or simply a woman got killed. Nothing more. And before I go, I want you guys to have a think. Think about this very hard. Think about if this was reversed. Say a white woman got pushed in front of a subway by a Chinese guy. Do you think that all of these Western papers are going to say Asian man pushed a white woman in front of a moving train and killed her? You know, this is an Asian guy who killed her. No, they're not going to say that. They're going to mention about his Chinese ethnicity. They're going to say this Chinese terrorist killed a white woman. He was sent by the CCP as an agent. He's a spy working for the government. You know, think about it, guys. You know, if the roles were reversed, it would not be about an Asian guy pushing a white woman. They would make sure that everybody knows it's a Chinese guy that pushed her. And it doesn't matter whether he's got mental illness or he's homeless or he's on drugs. It does not care. The Americans would want justice. They would make sure he gets the death penalty, and they will make sure of that. They will not settle for anything less. They don't care if he's a mad guy or if he's got mental health issues, or they don't care about that. They will make sure he gets the death penalty. They will not let him use any excuse to get away from the fact or get away from the death penalty. They will not let him survive. And not only that, they will make sure they push this towards the government in China. They will say he's a CCP spy. You know, he was sent by the government to kill us. He's a terrorist. Basically, the CCP party are now terrorists. They're sending, you know, all of these sleeper agents all over the world, and they're trying to cause terrorism. And that will fuel the American people even more into a war with China. And yeah, there could be a war because of it. So I was looking around the internet, and this was the only article I could find which actually I agree with, how anti-China sentiment feeds anti-Asian hate. So I'll go a bit further, saying that this isn't anti-Asian hate, this is anti-Chinese hate. People are just attacking Asians thinking they're Chinese. So that's my point of view anyway. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share this video. Make sure you spread it to all of your friends. Let's try and get the algorithm up. Let's try and get this video seen as many people as possible. So I'm looking at you guys. And did I mention one of my good friends in London, who is Chinese, by the way? He came to study in London. He found himself a job, and he's been working in London for over 10 years. He's a very, very good friend of mine. And we've been regularly meeting up, going out, you know, I love the guy. Got beaten up so badly, he got put into a coma. Still to this day, he's in a coma, and this happened over a year ago. So one of the main reasons I've opened up this channel because of him, because I want to kind of stop this kind of violence happening to other Asians. So I don't know if I told you guys that one of my good friends from London, he's Chinese and he studied in UK, and he ended up getting a job here, so he ended up staying. He was a very good friend of mine. We used to meet up regularly for dinner and we used to go out. So he's a very, very good friend of mine. He got beaten up and he got put into a coma. And this happened over a year ago. And it's one of the main reasons why I started this channel, to be honest. And I wanted to kind of raise more awareness about, anti-Chinese hate crime. And I wanted to raise more awareness around the world so it doesn't happen to as many Chinese or Asian people. So unfortunately for me, the channel's not doing as well as I hoped it would have done. I mean, I can show you my subscriber count for all of January, and you can see like -1, -5, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1. And if we're talking about how many people there are across the world looking at YouTube, my subscriber count is pretty much 0. YouTube does not push me at all. So you can see channels like myself do not get out there. So sometimes I have to look for your help, for support. And I don't know how long I'm going to survive, to be honest. I mean, I don't know how long I can take much more of this kind of numbers. It's just not good. I'm just not growing at all. So if one of the things I'm doing, I'm sometimes I try and help his family. I raise some money and I give it to his family and stuff. If you guys want to contribute, you can donate some money on my PayPal account and mention anti-hate crime fund. So all of that would go to his family and stuff. If you guys want to help, obviously it's your money, so I'm not gonna force you. So in terms of asking you guys to subscribe, share and stuff, it really doesn't matter anymore, because no matter what you guys do, YouTube is not promoting my channel, so it doesn't really matter anymore. And sometimes I have to ask you guys for Patreon as or buy me a coffee. As you know, I've got 44 patrons so far. Still not enough, guys. Still not enough for me to support this channel and to do what I'm doing. Still peanuts at the end of the day, because I'm not getting anything from YouTube at all. It takes a lot of time and effort to make videos for you guys, so I don't know how long I'm going to last. If things continue the way things are going, not getting any growth at all from YouTube whatsoever. It doesn't matter how many videos I put up or how many views I get, or how you guys are doing. It really doesn't matter. Anyway, that's all for me today. Let's continue this discussion on the comment section. I love reading your comments, and we'll speak soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now.